fitting music for this. Right then. Am I the arsehole for telling my girlfriend that my loyalties lie with my baby brother? I don't know. I don't know if I have enough of a brain to be the decider of this stuff, but let's have a look here. My little brother recently moved in with me. It was a huge shock at first. My brother, Will, 17, is FTM. What does that mean? Fuck the moon. Is fairly... Is fart the man? Does he not? Oh, okay. Female to male, right, that makes sense. I, male 34, had no idea he was trans or even questioning his gender. He always seemed perfectly happy as a girl, you know, he was very feminine presenting and all. Turns out he came out to our parents after getting his hair cut and they didn't take it well in the slightest. From what he's told me, he wasn't exactly kicked out, they just started being unbearable. They were calling him Myla. What? Why? What does that mean? I don't know. In every sentence they said just to annoy him, I suppose. Mum kept booking him in for appointments to get hair extensions and his eyelashes done. Our da didn't... Is this Scottish? Is that what the Scottish say? My da? Judge Drac, yep. I get to decide who's going to prison today. It'll be fun being a judge. Being hidden between some fat butt cheek. Ah. You got sucked in. Oh, didn't he? Maybe. Well, oh yeah, I guess so. Right. I forgot it was female to male. I thought Milo was like some kind of made up girl name or something, I don't know. Where was I? Right. Our da didn't let him wear the male uniform to sixth form and so on. It got so bad that he literally took a train from down south to up the north, okay, maybe it is Scottish then, to ask if he could live with me. Of course I said yes, the house is big enough to have him live there. There's 4 bedrooms and an attic room, bloody rich. It got so... oh wait, my girlfriend, Nico, going bowling later, 32, was irritated when she found out. We've discussed her moving in before Will came. Oh, I guess she's not living there yet. And now she's telling me that she will not move in until Will leaves. I've explained to her that Will isn't a child we'd have to constantly supervise, that if anything he's the one making the place more livable. He's very insistent on adding to the home decor and so on, as well as being better than me at cleaning. Maid. And that the house is large enough to still have privacy, even with him around. I mean, in some ways, I get it. Like, if you're gonna be moving in with your partner, I would feel kind of weird if there was other family in the house as well. But considering his brother's circumstances, and it's probably only temporary, I would say you're not the arsehole for caring about your family. Nico argued that it's not simply ours, it's not truly ours, if Will is always there, that we won't be able to start trying to conceive, that she's not willing to live with a hormonal and rebellious teenager. Are you still hormonal and rebellious at 17? Maybe. And that she's just flat out uncomfortable with Will being near her and living with her and her son, M10. That's a weird name for a son, naming it after a motorway in the same home. Ultimately, I've told her that my loyalties lie with my baby brother, who is homeless and vulnerable, unlike the grown woman with a good-paying job and a home of her own. She's called my mum up to complain about it, and she said that I was in the wrong for prioritising Will, and Will himself said that he doesn't want to be causing problems in my relationship. Yeah, not the arsehole. The girlfriend should, if anything, she should be happy that you care about your family. That sounds like a green flag. You got a good man there who gives a shit about his family and stuff. Not gonna say, nah, sorry brother, you go back to your abusive parents. I've got my girlfriend. All these spare rooms as well. That's an easy one. Sixth form uniform. Don't remember sixth form having a uniform. I guess it varies depending on the area. But yeah, nothing else to say about that really. What's the next one? Oh, it even tells you which ones you've read by greying them out. Am I the arsehole for telling my bill? Oh, brother-in-law, I guess. To pay me $700 for my lost coat when I bought it for $100. What? What do you mean? What could possibly be a good reason to want $700 for a $100 coat? Let's get the context. Last year, I was at the mall with my fiancée when I saw this awesome cashmere wool coat. It was perfect in every way, and there was only one left in my size. The best news was that it was on clearance for $100, so I bought it without a second thought. I've worn it several times last year. One new comment, apparently. But it hasn't been cold enough this year for me to break out the coat. Last week, when I saw the news about the upcoming cold front, I decided it was time to take it out to the dry cleaners so I can wear it this week. After tearing all my clothes apart without seeing it. Don't tear your clothes apart, what the hell? It's not like you stored your coat inside your other clothes. I guess she just means like digging around in them. Might be a thing now. Oh, maybe. Should just never be a uniform. Who cares what you're dressed in? She told me she haven't seen me wear it in a while, so she lent it to her brother. What? To wear for a wedding? What? Who does that? Please ask first. I was annoyed at hearing this, but decided not to make a big deal. So I simply told her to tell her brother to bring it back so I could get it dry cleaned. Thursday rolls around and he hasn't brought it back, so I asked her about it again. Nothing. Come Friday and I haven't heard anything, so I called him. He said that he told my wife on Tuesday he got drunk at the wedding and lost the coat. I was super annoyed at this, so I told him he owes that exact coat from that exact brand. Last night my fiancée came home from work in a mood and handed me $100. She said that her brother dropped off the money and I shouldn't have made her brother pay for the coat since I knew he doesn't make very much. How did he have a wedding then? They're expensive. More than $100. Maybe someone else paid for it. Where was it? I shouldn't look away in the middle of reading. Closets? Closets? Oh, tearing all your closets apart. Okay, same weirdness then. Don't tear them apart. God. I shouldn't do these things I can't read in the first place. Am I the arsehole for trying to decide if people are arseholes when I can't even read their things properly? Yes. Doesn't mean... Oh, the one you're getting married. Yeah, I guess so. Did they say if he was the one getting married? Brother to wear to a wedding. Doesn't specify. Doesn't make much and I haven't worn it but a handful of times. I looked at the $100 and told her I wanted a replacement coat for the amount it currently cost, so that I can buy a new one, and that $100 won't cover it. She said he went to the store and it cost $700 now, but she knew I only paid $100 for it, so she told him $100 would cover the cost. I argued that $100 doesn't buy me a new coat. We went back and forth but couldn't find any common ground. She offered to throw in an extra $100 of her own money, and said sarcastically that I'm coming out ahead. I argued that I'm still out a coat. Oh bloody get over it, it's a coat. You got your money back. And nothing will satisfy my loss except for a replacement coat. She argued that I don't have to have the exact coat, and that I can buy a similar one with $200, yeah. She thought I was being ridiculous and called her parents on speakerphone. Of course they sided with their children. And their dad tried to say that a man shouldn't be so hung up on a coat. It doesn't matter what gender you are, it's a nice coat. But he is a bit caught up on it. Hung up on it. I told him that a man replaces what he loses. A man replaces what he loses. Women don't. Apparently. So now they're all mad at me for wanting to make a profit from their son and intimating that he's not a man. I'm confused now. Am I wrong for wanting the same coat as a replacement? I don't know, it's a little bit dodgy. Should have, like, the brother-in-law should have been more careful with a coat that was borrowed. But this guy is kind of being the arsehole by being so stubborn about it. Like, you got your money back and then some. Just get something else. The coat was a surprise in the first place to you. Oh no, you lost a coat. End of the world. But yeah, I think they're all slight amounts of arsehole. But this guy is the main one. But brother-in-law should have been more careful, and also his wife, was it? Whoever shouldn't have just lent it to someone else without asking first. Glad he got anything back, yeah. The bride's family usually pays for the wedding. Oh. That's a weird tradition. Yeah, arsehole. A pretty stinky one as well. Let's see what other people think. Not the arsehole. I don't see this as an attempt to make a profit. I see it as a man wanting his coat replaced. Oh, I'm not even going to bother. Am I the arsehole for being pissed that my dad-in-law won't accommodate my allergy, so I'm not going to her dinner? Wait, our daughter-in-law. Doesn't sound like it at first glance. Oh. This is quite interesting, actually. Should be glad he got anything back, I mean, not glad. I misread it. I'm very, very frustrated. My son has been married to my daughter-in-law for 3 years now. Wait. Oh. I've always made extra dishes that didn't include meat to accommodate her. No matter how much it was a pain to do, I always made sure she had options to eat when I hosted or she was over. She's vegetarian, and at one point tried to go vegan. My son and her never hosted due to living in a small apartment, but that changed since they have just bought a home. They are having a dinner this week, and I called her to remind her that I'm allergic to nuts. Then she informed me that she doesn't have time. Or she don't have time, and to bring my own food. Gosh, she told me that she cooks a lot with different nuts, and she can't make adjustments to her menu. This is where I am at be a jerk. I told her I will not be going, and neither will my husband. That I have accommodated her for years, and not once have I made her bring her own food. This started an argument where she thinks I am being unreasonable. My husband is on my side, but my son and her are very upset. Edit. Stop downvoting people who say there are allergies that are not life-threatening. They are correct. My allergy is not life-threatening. Oh, you still don't want to eat stuff that's going to make you uncomfortable. The commenters are the arseholes. If it was going to kill me, I wouldn't be okay with any of the dishes having nuts. I just asked for one that I can eat, but can be at a table with nuts. Is fine. This actually personally annoys me. Allergic reactions are a spectrum from very mild to kill you. Also, for everyone saying allergies get worse every time people have it are incorrect. Some allergies can be improved through exposure therapy, which is usually done at the doctor's. My daughter has literally done that with her shellfish allergy. So what's the deal? Her daughter won't make a different meal to accommodate. Yeah, not the arsehole. Yeah, daughter's the arsehole. Daughter-in-law, I guess. Sounds like. I mean, I guess it would be inconvenient to make an entirely different meal, and I guess she wouldn't really be able to... Nah, Nah, it wouldn't be difficult. I just make something different and don't put nuts in it. Easy. Someone doesn't like cooking, or the person have to be bothered to cook, yeah. Like, sure, it would literally be extra work, but it wouldn't be that hard. It's your mother-in-law, for heck's sake. Your family, oh. Sort of. Yeah, definitely not the arsehole. But it's worth not going anyway, in that case, or I would be worried about going anyway just because there's nuts around and there might have gotten some in the meal, unintentionally. I don't want to potentially suffer. Just order a pizza. Easy as that, order a pizza for them to have when it arrives. And you can have your nut food. Bunch of squirrels. Went through the efforts for others, only fair to expect others to go through the same effort. Yeah. Even in Africa and Asia where they use a lot of nuts, not like they don't have a ton of dishes without them. I'm sure the daughter-in-law could whip up something. Alright, let's do one more.
Yum!
Yum! Am I the arsehole for refusing to babysit my sister's kids during my vacation? Depends on the context. I, 27F, have been planning a much needed vacation for months. Not the arsehole. I work a demanding job and this vacation is my chance to relax and recharge. My sister, 30F, has 3 young children, and she reached out to me last week asking if I could babysit them for a few days while she and her boyfriend are going on a weekend getaway. I politely explained to her that I've been looking forward to this vacation for a long time, and that I really need this break. I told her I wouldn't be comfortable taking on the responsibility of looking after her kids during my time off. Well, my sister didn't take it well. God, get over it. She accused me of being selfish and uncaring, arguing that family should always be there for each other. She even tried guilt-tripping me, saying she never asks for favours, and that I'm abandoning her in her time of need. It's a weekend. I'm sure you can find someone else to babysit. I stood my ground and told her that while I love my nieces and nephews, my vacation is crucial for my well-being, and I shouldn't have to sacrifice it for her last-minute request. Now, my entire family is divided. Some are supporting me, recognising the importance of self-care, while others are siding with my sister, claiming I'm being heartless and should prioritise family over personal desires. Am I the arsehole for refusing to babysit my sister's kids during the long-awaited vacation? Or should I have put my plans aside to help her out? Nah, not the arsehole. You deserve your vacation. Babysitting is like work. And I guess it depends how hard your work is, but it sounds like it's pretty rough and you need the break. But yeah, if it's a long awaited vacation that you need for your mental well-being, yeah, not the arsehole. Don't need a reason to say no. Looking after someone else's kids, yeah. And there are people you can call to hire for babysitting. Like, obviously it makes sense you trust your own family more, but... Wait, don't read the context. That would make it quicker and easier. 50-50. I do feel like it could go slightly the other way, depending on, like, more details, but... I feel like this poster still wouldn't really be an arsehole, necessarily. Roar. Open their legs. Oh dear. Yeah, they gotta understand the responsibilities they're getting into. When you go on holiday and stuff, you're telling your brother you won't give up your holidays to babysit. You're the arsehole, Inferno. I'm sorry. In that situation. No! Yeah. Yeah, if they'd had like more advanced, more like, if they'd been asked in advance or something. More in advance or something, maybe. Huh. Okay, maybe one more, because that was so quick. Am I the arsehole for telling my husband I will move back in once my stepdaughter and her family move out? What? Oh, that one's too long. Never mind that one. Sounds complicated as well. Am I the arsehole for telling my husband I'll move back in? Nah, probably not. Is it going to be juicy? Oh, fine. If it's going to be juicy, we'll end it on a long one then. Perspective of your parents' new puppy. The perspective of your parents' new puppy is probably a very low perspective, being at like ankle level. Right then, am I the arsehole for telling my husband I will move back in once my stepdaughter and her family move out? I'm already confused. I married my husband when his daughter, Trudy, was 22. Now she's 36. He was 47. And I was 32. Wait. I guess he was 47 when she was 22, not when she was 36. And I was 32. I have two kids, 20 and 18 now. Both are all away at college. Trudy never liked me, and that was fine. She has a mother, and she was a full adult living on her own when we met. Okay. Her parents had been divorced for 6 years, and when I met her father. We live in a city with lots of tourism, so it was an easy decision to keep my apartment and do short-term rentals when my kids and I moved in with my husband. We also use it for out-of-town guests. Trudy and her husband ran into some financial problems last year. Trudy and her family of 4 moved in with us. That's a lot of family in one house. We agreed that after the holidays I would stop taking reservations for my apartment and they could move in there. Sounds sensible. They would sign a lease and we would rent it to them without collecting rent so they could build up rental history and money. I'm confused now, I don't know how adulting works. I wouldn't want her. Oh, the puppy. Yeah, especially like cables and stuff, maybe. Goodbye internet. I'll try and have a look at that after this quickly. Trudy moved in last October. It was hell. She doesn't... Oh, you didn't capitalise the H in hell. You gotta respect the demons. She doesn't help around the house, and neither do her kids. Her husband is working his arse off to get money together for them, so he comes home exhausted, and he is more help than her or her kids. The 3 of them leave dirty dishes everywhere, dirty laundry everywhere. The house is just a mess. I have spoken to all of them, including my husband, about this. My son-in-law is the only one who makes an effort. Trudy literally said that I live in her father's house, so I don't get to tell her what to do. Fuck off. My husband did not back me up. Well, the husband should fuck off as well then. So I moved out. My apartment is now empty since the holidays are over. She's not the arsehole here, by the way. I can tell you right now. My apartment is now empty since the holidays are over. I said I didn't want them treating my property like they were treating my husband's home. Good point. Yeah, I wouldn't want them moving in there after all that, leaving dirty laundry and dishes everywhere. They're all mad at me for leaving and changing the plan. She actually threatened to sue me since they have a signed lease. I don't even know what a lease is or how it works, so I don't know. I told her to go ahead, since I could prove that I never got the agreed upon deposit or first and last month's rent. I thought you weren't charging them rent. We'd rent it to them without collecting rent, so they could build up. I'm confused. Which we were going to cover to help them start over. Oh, okay. Finish reading it first and it'll make sense. I've been here for a week now and it's great. No noise, no mess, a much better commute for me to my work. My husband has been spending a few nights a week here with me. He wants me to come home and give them the apartment like we agreed. I said I would do that if we went back to his house that minute, and it was in good shape. Narrator's voiceover goes here. It was not. In an American accent. It was disgusting. Like it smelled bad. It was like if 5 teenage boys were living there with no supervision. She saw me looking around in disgust and said that it wasn't her fault and that the mess was because they didn't have their own living space. Right. How does that make any sense? The mess is because you don't have your own living space. What, so magically if you have your own living space there wouldn't be mess anymore? You clean up whatever space you're living in, whatever. You just leave your mess around, doesn't matter where you are. Yeah, sure, I turned around and went back to my place. I offered to let my husband move in with me if he wants them to have their own space. He won't because he's retired and likes where he is. So like I said, they're all mad at me. 'Cause they're idiots. My husband, Trudy, her kids, Trudy's husband is the only one who understands my position. Marry him instead! I will no longer agree to let them in my apartment. I will also only move back once they leave. Yeah, not the arsehole. You're the only sensible one in this situation. And Trudy's husband, or whatever. Whoever it was, yeah. Foolishness.